It's Thursday afternoon and I'm out on the front deck enjoying moving along. Unfortunately, as Elon Musk would say, we have had an unplanned rapid disassembly of our starboard engine transmission. We don't know what the real problem is. It could be a broken oil line, a broken coolant line. All that we know of is that the starboard engine stopped by itself, abruptly, sounded its alarm, and when we went down to the engine room, it was filled with a combination of steam and a smoke, but I don't think it was a fire smoke. I think it was a steamy smoke. We fired up the engine room blower and the air got clear. There was a combination of coolant and oil all around the back of the engine. And when we tried to start the starboard engine, it wouldn't even turn over. And that's not a great sign. We don't know for sure what's wrong. Tomorrow, Friday, Graham is going to drive from his home, take the ferry over to the peninsula, and is going to drive up to Pender Harbor and meet us. Bill's going to pick him up in the Arima from the dock, and he's going to come over and kind of do a little inspection and see what's going on. We're running right now on one engine. We're doing 8 knots. It's fine. All the parameters are good. Everything else with the boat is good. Nothing is leaking. Nothing is dangerous. We're not going to sink. But it appears that the starboard engine has had something catastrophic happen to it. Most likely the transmission. We don't know that for sure. There's still oil in the engine, but there's no oil in the transmission. So that's just kind of a report. Everybody got kind of freaky, but after a small but not minute amount of alcohol, everybody's calm again, and we'll have to see how this goes. Graham's going to be here tomorrow. We'll figure out what's going on, and then I'll give you another. This is Don on Polaris 1 with an update to last night's video. Graham Cole was kind enough to meet us in Pender Harbor, came on board and located the primary source of the problem, which was a snapped band T hose clamp on one of the main water feeds for engine coolant. It just blew off the boat, sprayed all the coolant into the engine room. That was the reason for what we thought was smoke, which in fact was steam. The other oil leak that mixed with the coolant was an unrelated failure of an O-ring in a transmission oil filter. I can't imagine two things so unlinked. The best possible news is that the engine would spin. There didn't appear to be anything wrong with the engine. So he bought a couple of clamps, replaced the hose, refilled the engine. We started the engine. It seemed to work fine. And then, since we couldn't get an O-ring, he bypassed the transmission oil filter because its primary purpose was to be used with the trolling valve, which we don't use. So the net is that what could have been a tragic and very expensive and season-ending disaster was about a 1.5 day delay. And so now we're sitting in Squirrel Cove. We'll be going up to the Dent Island Lodge in a 1.5 days. And someone up top is looking out for us. More later. This is a video of the failed hose clamp on the starboard engine on Polaris 1. It appears that the metal just gave away. And it appears that there's traces of corrosion where it's separated. Just underneath where these 2 spot welds are. So there could be corrosion, there could be hydrogen contamination, there could be metal fatigue, but you can see where the spot welds are, and it failed just in front of that. Let me get this into the sun. Just in front of that is where it failed.